What's going on, Star Wars fam? I'm your bro host, Daniel Miller.
And I'm Chris Rhines. Now you've had a quick shot of BROAXIUM. Now it's time to make the spoiler run.
Yeah, hopefully we can do it in less than 14 parsecs.
Guys, I'm checking my data pad. It actually, according to this, it says 12. Actually,
12.
12.
Yeah. No.
Are you sure?
It just I believe you're supposed to carry the 1 right there, and sorry,
I think it is 12 actually.
Yeah, you might be right.
Punch it.
Welcome back to the Spoiler Run, everybody. I'm your bro host, Daniel Miller, and with me is my bro host, Chris Ryans, and our special guest, bro host JAXXON, who is incredibly
I'm sorry, I'm really excited. Dan, just say it. Just say it. Just say it. Say it.
I put this movie on behind me
Right,
for
Chris?
a reason.
Yes. Yes, Jackson.
War of the Bounty Hunters, everyone. We are covering War of the Bounty Hunters today. And the first issue dropped by Charles Soule, and he just dropped everybody. Dropped everybody right on the floor with his reveal, and we're just going to get right to it. So, Chris,
let's start with this, and then we'll just go on back throughout the rest of the book through there. But something happened that I am so happy about. Qi'ra's back.
Woo! Can we give a shout out? Do we have the name of the person who left the comment about that? I would like to give them a shout out. They deserve it.
I've been forgetting his name this whole time, but I'm gonna just confirm it. But his name is BlazeCap 1213. Pretty sure.
All right.
And homie.
I love usernames. They're some of my most favorite things to see sometimes. Like I've got a couple of my Xbox. Yeah. BlazeCap.
It's a one of the BROAXIUM audience.
Yep.
He called it.
Yeah, totally
he called
it
weeks ago.
Yep.
He said, "I bet you it's Qi'ra."
And then Chris said it to me, and I was like, "Oh my god!" It was one of those things where when he said it, immediately everything just made sense. I was like, "That has to be."
It just makes so much sense. Now listen. All right, so BlazeCap 1213. I said, I'm gonna say it here as my wild card prediction for War of the Bounty Hunters. It's Qi'ra trying to get Han Solo back. Also, at some point, Aelin Vel will appear. She is, I think, Boba's daughter in Legends.
Whoa! Stop! You struck oil with Qi'ra.
Yeah, you could have stopped right there, and my mind was already blown.
I know.
That is,
I mean,
it makes so much sense that it's Qi'ra that has stolen Han Solo. Who else would?
I don't know. I mean, it's the only thing that made sense to me when you said it. I after reading that prelude and everything, I'm like, this makes total sense. And then what makes even more sense, and which would be an even bigger situation, not bigger, but like awesome situation, is Qi'ra and Leia.
Yeah,
up.
The implications of what this issue means.
Could you imagine both of them talking shit about Han? Like just both of them just he is a scruffy nerf herder, huh?
Ooh,
Ooh.
It just occurred to me, guys. I wonder if there's a possibility that Qi'ra meets Leia, but Leia dressed as Bosch.
Ooh, Bosch. How do they say it? Is it Bosch?
Is it Bosch or Boosh? I've always said Boosh since I was
I don't know.
But anyway, but
in New England we say Bosch.
Bash.
I thought that was a tool.
Bosch.
It's like a drill company.
Hey Bosch, I want to
Bosch drills
at the dunk.
Wicked awesome.
Give me one of those matcha donuts. Thanks.
You got that Bosch there? Yeah.
Hey.
But that Bausch Boosh comic is coming out later this summer.
Yeah,
so that could be.
Dude,
but they
Jackson's already connecting the dots.
I would love for them to meet. I would love her to meet her as Leia and as.
We can't do it right now. It's not working.
I want a graphic overlay.
Oh my god! What were you
Use
saying,
your
Chris?
magic, Chris. Sorry.
We interrupted you. I am sorry.
What happened?
I was being silly and I interrupted you.
We were just connecting the dots. Like,
Of the comics, I mean,
that was the, yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. Being able to connect Leia to Bosch. Man, I'm so bad.
Boush, whichever.
Boosh. That because I was thinking that too. Like, are we gonna get her? Because we've already gotten her in one of the comics stealing the armor.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
What was one of the IDWs?
It was no. It was.
We argued about this. Not argued, but like talked about it before.
It happened in two of them. Oh no. It was Maz told her where to get the armor in one of the comics, and then she got it in one of the other comics.
Okay.
So I think she
thought it was an IDW comic.
IDW is where I think Maz told her.
And I don't even think it was. I think it was like one of the Forces of Destiny comics.
Probably
is what I'm thinking that it was.
Probably.
Not the actual.
That rings a bell. I've got all of them, and I just like there's some that like I may have read once, and I I'm not.
The Maz Kanata thing definitely is a thing. I'm totally remember that she did tell, and it was her and Chewie, I think, that went and got it. Yeah. So anyway, it would be cool to see that get involved here with the War of the Bounty Hunters, because this is between Empire and Return
of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi. Sorry. So oh my God, anything can happen. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
I love this. I love what they're doing with these filling in the time between the movies. It's just fantastic. Yeah. And with this giant crossover, it's just, I mean, you bringing Qi'ra back.
If she's at the head of Crimson Dawn, she has to be the reason that he is on Malachor. Has to be. Mm-hmm. Maybe she found a way to betray him and get out from under him.
Exactly.
And now he's on Malachor or who knows. But the implications of putting her in the comics to bring Emilia Clarke's character back in the comics, and not throwing it into a Disney Plus series or something like that. I like that they are letting the comics do that and let the comic, because I know with everything that happened with the season premiere of Bad Batch, people think that the comics are, have been taken like or like tertiary to anything else that goes on main canon. What they're doing with this comic crossover legitimizes the comics as major storytellers. Yes, Dan, we know.
And actually, it's funny because when they started announcing the slate of comics a while back, and they mentioned War of the Bounty Hunters, I think it was before. I want to say it was Chris. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it was before Boba Fett was reintroduced in The Mandalorian. Am I right?
It was around the same time, yeah.
Around the same time? Mm-hmm. So there were still a lot of people that were like, oh, we don't need more bounty hunters. There was also that there was the arc in the Bounty Hunters comic that was a little controversial.
Yes, I was about to just mention that, Jackson. Yes.
And a lot of people were like,
the woman in the refrigerator thing. The whole yeah.
And there were more. There's more than one person that I know that's into comics that was just like, why do we need this? And they're not saying that now. Don't bet against Charles Soule. I guess that's the
now with this thing, and like I said, with the implications, it puts more eyes on the comics, thankfully.
Yeah.
It legitimizes it more, thankfully. But what does this mean for solo storytelling going forward across like all the mediums? Like, is this gonna, like, outside of the Lando thing, which we don't know what that's gonna be about just yet?
But I mean, we definitely know that she
survives.
Up.
Yeah, she survives
in that show. She's alive during that Lando show.
Depends on the timeline. Yeah.
Well,
she survives.
I guess the timeline of the Lando show. Yeah, it does depend on where they set that. I really hope they set it with Donald Glover.
Did you guys hear the interview or read the interview on comicbook.com that they did with Emilia Clarke about the return of Qi'ra as a character in the comic books?
She loved it.
She actually, yeah. So this came out today.
I saw something about that, and I think I go ahead.
It was at 8:00. It was about 8:00, and she was quoted saying, "It means so much. It means the absolute world. I know her backstory. I know her history. Maybe the movie didn't get to go there, but that was such an honor and a privilege to be part of that universe as an actor. So then to see the character actually be taken on to the origin of all of it, bringing it on home to the family in that way, cemented it in a way I was not expecting to feel as moved as I was by that." So I mean that doesn't give me any indication that there's going to be more of her in live action. However, it's not like she objects to that character. Clearly, she has some kind of emotional, connection, and might possibly be amenable to coming back. Yeah. I hope they're having those talks. I don't know. I mean, it's one of those. I've sent the hashtag, and I've used the hashtag, and I'm not a big fan of like the hashtag activism. I think. But I also think that there are enough people that like Star Wars that actually want to see more of that story.
Yeah. I would love to see more of Alden.
Yeah.
Loved him as a Solo. Yeah. Loved it.
Yeah. I mean, the question, and this is maybe beyond comics and maybe worthy of a separate show, is that with all of the content that they have out now, that the slate that they have planned, whether it's movies or television shows, like, do they still feel like they need to tell that story? I mean, that's a legitimate question, because studios don't have infinite resources, and they have to be considerate about the both the production schedule and also the release schedule, because they don't want to bury one of their projects that they're investing millions of dollars in for the sake of another one. So I that's a tough one. I don't know.
I just think you also got to look at this reveal as something where, it's tough for them to give you big drops like this in some of these like areas, like in the comic books or the novels and whatnot. And I feel like maybe for the fact that she might not be a returning character in any other media, that this is why they decided to put her in the comics. Like, well, we could just bring Qi'ra back for a couple of issues and whatnot and really give the fans something, and then all of a sudden, poof, she disappears again off into her own little crime syndicate galaxy. I mean, they could do that.
Yeah.
Just to give the comic books some more substance, so people are more drawn to the comic books.
That is a definite possibility. I hope that they are at least listening to a good portion of the fandom that wants wants more from this part of the galaxy, wants to see, this Crimson Dawn stuff, and
definitely
because it melds everything that we've got from other mediums of Star Wars into live action. Like Solo 2 is probably the most inclusive of the animated portion of Star Wars that I think we've ever gotten live action. It just seemed that way to me. Like, it had elements of the comics. It had elements of, the shows, and was lore heavy, Darth Maul being in there and everything. So I think there's so much that they could do with this Solo piece, and with Crimson Dawn, and with Qi'ra and all that. I hope that they, decide to bring it back in some capacity.
It was just I just love that movie. I hate when people give that movie shit. I really do. It bothers me. I'm like, stop it. That movie's great.
So
leave it alone.
It's literally the same. The people that are giving it shit are the same people, and I've experienced this, and I know a lot of people have experienced this. The same people that, if you say something positive about Rebels, instead of leaving it alone, and even instead of like giving it their own take, they'll say, "Oh, it's childish," and then they'll post a YouTube link. It's like those are the people that have a problem with Solo. They're the people that are just too lazy to form their own opinions.
Yep. Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And was it my favorite movie? No. Of the Star Wars movies, no. I enjoyed it in the theater. I did. And I think my enjoyment has grown since.
I love when that happens.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like I didn't come out of there like wondering what did I just see. Like it was a fucking Star Wars movie. Can I swear?
Yeah,
Are you gonna edit this
you're
out?
fine.
Anyways, yeah. So, sorry. Yeah, it's a Star Wars story. It's based in the universe. They took great pains to replicate that feeling, and then gave us characters that were not just identifiable because we've seen the actual characters before, but the actors really brought them to life in a way that made them accessible. Why? I don't know. I get tired of people saying that it was shitty without even actually watching it and opening their hearts. Mm-hmm. That's a problem with a lot of people in the fandom. Not a majority, but there are the clickbaiters out there, as you know. But yeah, this is great. I'm so excited about the comic. I think this is going to be an excellent series. And again, Charles Soule, I don't know of any off notes from his comics and Star Wars. Lando was amazing.
Yeah, that's where he started.
Yeah, Poe Dameron was amazing. I mean, Darth Vader, obviously, new heights. But yeah,
his current Star Wars run is fantastic.
Yeah.
He's got, and for anybody else listening out there, he's got a run with Image Comics. It's called Curse Words.
Yeah.
Check that out. I was attracted to that comic book not only because of his name, but because the cover picture of his first issue was literally Wizard, his main character, pissing on what it looked like a magical bolt of lightning onto a pile of Harry Potter clothes. And I was like, I need to read this.
And at that moment, Stan was hooked.
It is out of this world, this comic book. The art is so wild, and the story is just, it's out of control. It's so good. I mean, it's just really like you have to take your mind out of just like real life, and it's great.
Yeah.
There you go, Jackson. I did it too.
All right, I got the beep. I got the beep on standby when I edit this. Yeah, I remember at Celebration.
So sorry.
No, don't worry about it. I remember at Celebration, you were like, Dan, you were more hyped to meet Charles Soule than I was, and more hyped about Curse Words than you were about his Star Wars stuff.
And he was actually really hype about. He was more hype. It was funny when I was giving him it was almost just like he was like, Star Wars. Ooh, he's like, this one's my baby. Like he literally lit up when I had that Curse Words comic book, because I mean, he even said something to me about it. He was like, I had an interview with him on May the 4th when I was doing stuff with this other channel, unnamed. And I was lucky enough to get him on this phone call interview. Mm-hmm. And freaking, he was telling me about how much work he put into that issue, and how like he was traveling all around in a van with the artist doing this like tour with that comic book and everything. And I just love that stuff. I love when a writer has like a project of theirs that they really are attached to. It just shows how much love that they're putting into that work,
Well, that's a whole from scratch universe. I mean, there's what was it? Was it Undiscovered Country? Is that
Trek? The Trek? Oh no! I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I mean, and all of the good writers that have worked in on the Star Wars series in the last couple of years are very accomplished in building their own worlds. I mean, Kieran Gillen, Kieran Gillen with Die, which is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
If you're a D&D nerd, that's like it's like one of your dreams and your nightmares.
That was his Image run, right? Was that Image?
What's it called?
It's still going on. It's Die. It's about DIE. It's about like the single dice.
Yeah.
Right. Or plural of die. plural of dice. Yeah. But it's one of those. I look at those writers, and I'm glad that they have enough of an investment in Star Wars. Because I know that as an artist, probably your top priority is the thing that you birthed from seed to harvest. You know what I mean? And I get that. I mean, that's for anything, a project that we started individually from the very beginning it always is more important than something that's given to you by your boss or whatever, but these guys, I think they understand, the whole crew, whether it's the comic people or the High Republic writers, they understand the weight that's being put on them, and I think they honor that and put every bit of themselves into it. And I think that the results are kind of bearing that out. I think everything's been pretty good so far.
And I think, go ahead. Sorry.
One of the other heavy hitters that they brought in. Oh, I'm sorry, bro.
Go ahead.
One of the other heavy hitters they brought in was Jason Aaron, who started off the 2015 Star Wars run.
Yes.
And that was a very, very, very smart move.
But I think
he's great, super accomplished, comic writers, and put them on Star Wars stuff, and it brought a whole new dimension to it as far as storytelling goes.
Oh my God, yeah! But these guys have all been fans of it. They were all grew up with it and were fans. And I feel like as artists themselves, when they get that call to do an actual Star Wars project, they're all like, "Oh, damn it, I'm sorry." But they're all just like, hell yeah, let's do this. And obviously they have their own pet projects that they hold close to their heart and stuff, but they definitely all want that serotonin hit of being able to do a big reveal like Qi'ra. Charles was just like, I am gonna mess them up with this.
Waiting for Twitter to activate on
you knew it. You knew he was just exactly sitting there.
And I think I mentioned something on Twitter and tagged him in it about the whole Qi'ra thing after Blaze Cape had said something, and I think he either liked the comment or he didn't respond. It's one of the two. He just didn't respond. I've done that with Ethan Sachs. I'm just testing shit out.
Yeah,
I did it with Ethan Sachs for the Bounty Hunter thing. I'm like, yo, you know, this is real close to the Mandalorian time. Grief Karga's got to be around here somewhere. This is a Bounty Hunter's book.
Right. Crickets.
He's just like, he just.
He left you on raid.
Yeah. So I'm hoping Ethan Sachs, Charles Soule, I'm hoping you guys are putting Grief Karga in here somewhere. Please.
God, yes.
Help me. If you're going to start off with Qi'ra, a Qi'ra reveal, I figured if you're going to do that, we wouldn't see that till like the third issue. That's what I was thinking.
That's one hell of a way to start off the comic book. Like, what are you going to do now with that?
Next? Yeah.
What's next? You know they can't. They still got a climax.
You're going to get like a Din Djarin in his 20.
Jesus. Wait a minute.
Don't even.
Yeah. So that's a good question. How old would Grief Karga be at this time?
At this point, probably. Well, I know Carl Weathers is up there. I think he's in his late 70s, maybe.
But Grief doesn't have to be that old.
It looks good though.
This is
great.
Yeah, I mean, like on crack. We trying to tell you.
Sounds good. Like his voice, like he's all like together. He still has that very.
Stop sweating Carl Weathers. That's my thing.
I'm sorry.
There is no tomorrow. Had to.
No, I think at this point, like depending on how young he is
right now,
he's got to be in his 60s. I would say like Grief Karga is probably in his 60s.
Yeah. All right.
You know,
so he's
at
probably
this point,
in his 40s.
No. I mean, at this point, maybe he's in his 60s.
I'm just guessing.
Yeah, he could be like 50s, 60s, or something like that. Maybe late 40s, early 60s, because it's only between this.
This is 6 years after Return of the Jedi.
7,
right? 7 years after Return of the Jedi.
It's only 8 years. It's only 8 year span.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, because this is like a year before Return of the Jedi.
He's totally around.
Yeah.
So he's definitely either in his late 40s or early 50s.
He's around. Din is around in his maybe late 20s.
How old's Din supposed to be in The Mandalorian?
He's got to be in like his mid 30s or late. Probably his mid 30s, probably.
I doubt that we're gonna see him. I just feel like that. No, I feel like that.
Much.
Well, I feel like that character,
It's part of
because
his
he
own
was
deal.
created by Dave Filoni and Favreau, and
Any stories
it's
pertaining.
it's protected.
Yeah,
Right.
I think it- I
totally
think
It,
so
it could
too.
be. It could be some passing thing.
I mean,
Little-
you never know. You could hear something
Hand-
about, like, I know a group of Mandalorians or something like
Yeah.
that. They could be
Super
mentioned or
religions.
something, but I don't.
Yeah.
I think you're right. If we
Yeah.
get a Mandalorian other than Boba, that's possible.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think Jackson's right. Like, they're still working on a show with that. Like,
Mhm.
any stories right now being told, like, it's almost like when Rise of the Skywalker was happening. You're not getting any post Rise of Skywalker
No.
content, like, so maybe it's something like that where they're trying to just keep that as open as possible so they can play in that pool all they
Yep.
want for the show until they're done with that show. Then you'll start seeing him show up in comic books. Who knows?
Yeah. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
Fennec Shan could show up.
That was nice. Seeing her show up was pretty cool.
Yeah, in Bad Batch. Yeah.
In
Yeah.
Bad
But
Batch,
no.
right.
But to see her in the Rise of Skywalker in the War of the Bounty Hunters would be fantastic. I
Mhm.
think. I don't know when any other. Oh man. Okay. We don't know what happened to Cad Bane. There's no canon exit for Cad Bane just yet.
That's a
What
Filoni
if?
character too.
Yeah, it's a Star Wars character though. So I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, comics. There've been comics for Ahsoka. You know
But
what I'm saying?
he is
So,
the creative director now.
yeah.
Yeah, and I think like the ability to use Cad Bane as opposed to Din Djarin is that Cad Bane doesn't have a series based on him.
Right. Right.
So I think there's a little bit more flexibility, and you could have him kind of in the same capacity, passing through.
Yeah. It's like a panel, maybe two.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Ooh, hey, can we talk about For the Love of Money and Zuckuss?
Okay. We want to talk about dealing with some loss? Because
When you said "for the love of money," I was like, "Oh, for love."
listen, bro, like right on my
I always
wall,
forget about
We
that.
pronounce it up in New England. For the Love of Money.
on the wall.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Like I love these guys. I
my
love that
God.
duo, and now they're gone.
I love that. Have you seen that leaked Detours episode with Zuckuss and Forlom?
yeah,
Oh, isn't
yeah.
that just
Classic,
magical?
classic.
Oh, it's so good.
that was made for us.
yeah,
that
it
was
was.
made
It
for
was.
us.
It was so good. I love stuff like that.
I'm gonna-
It's
I'm gonna
like it reminds me of just like what Star Trek is doing with Lower Decks.
Oh, yeah. I want to show you
So
something,
grief counselors are standing by.
dude.
If you happen to have a Black
Fucking
Series Forlom or Zuckuss, grief counselors are standing by.
Okay, check this out. When he got into that bar, when we go to the bar, and their story is almost like, oh, I want to see where this goes. Oh man, okay, they're trying to, get out of a certain life, and they need one good job to get them out, and then it's all over. It's over. It's over. He made that just compelling enough where I was like, oh, let me see where it's
Right.
going. Oh,
Where's the chicken?
It's done. Yeah, that's a different universe, different Star Wars universe.
Oh, okay.
And I love these shots of Nar
Yeah.
This is some amazing. Like I just that's the one thing I love about the comic books. Like you get
Mhm.
this scenery sometimes
Mhm.
where you're just like, God, it's
Yeah.
It's like
And the styles are so different too, because I had been reading a lot of the IDW High Republic stuff, and the art is great, but it's different, and this
Yes.
is this was when I read this, it was almost more like cinematic than a lot of the comics
yeah,
I've read,
yeah.
and you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Am I making sense?
Absolutely.
It was like watching an episode of, or watching some of the it was like set in the underbelly of Coruscant, that
Yeah.
kind of like episode 2 type stuff,
While reading this, I saw this play out
Mhm.
fluidly, while I'm
Yeah.
reading it. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I totally
I just love it.
That's-
Like the artist right here with the landing platform and Slave 1 and like all of just these neon signs behind it. Just neon signs everywhere.
I would buy that piece. Like I would buy that piece.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That is a beautiful piece. It
That
really
would look
is.
good in the office.
Yeah.
For sure.
And that's
You know what
another
else-
thing about comic books is just like every freaking panel could be a piece of artwork just to hang in your house.
Yeah.
So good.
Every cover that Phil Noto did for the solo Star Wars story adaptation.
Noto. My
Every
God.
single one, I was like, I want that framed on my wall, 2x3.
That guy is
He's great.
Mission.
Yep,
So yeah,
he's
we
great.
got the Gand bounty hunter, Zuckus, who's like this great findsman and doing this whole thing, and they, we get reintroduced to him in the Bounty Hunters comic, and he gets the upper hand on Boba, and then it's him and Zuckus, and they're doing their thing, and they're gone. They're gone. I was like, okay, he's gonna let him hang there, and we'll get some Zuckus later on. He's like, nah, goodbye.
Did you see him die? Did you see him die?
Here we go.
Here we go. You're right.
Huh?
You're right.
Hey, where's the body?
He's the
Where
hound.
is
You're right.
the body? Mace Windu.
Yeah, he's dead, fool. Come on.
For the
Looking
love of
like-
money, how do you like your ribs? How do you like your ribs?
Oh my God! He
That
just
reminded
whips
me of
out
that
the-
shot
Oh, his head! He's got his head.
Yeah.
That
And he
reminded
wasn't
me of
even-
that Mando's.
This guy right here is the kind of guy that snaps your lightning cables when you're trying to charge your iPhone.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't care. Crick,
You're
crunch,
trying
crunch.
to charge. You're trying to charge your phone, mate. Cut.
I'm just a simple man trying to get a charged phone in the galaxy.
I'm just a simple man trying to ruin your life.
Get some chicken.
You can run, but you'll only die tired.
You
And
can't
hungry.
hide from Boba Fett. Yeah. So listen. That's it for Zuckus. I mean, I'm an old Star Wars fan, so they
Look
got
at
the
his spine is just
the two
laying
names,
out.
you know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Yep.
But yeah, that was it. That was it for him.
Yeah.
That was it. I was like, oh, he's keeping around. It's gonna be cool. It's like, no, so he's done too.
That is great. Come on, that's great.
No,
That is
it's hilarious.
amazing. Yeah, that is so
people-
great. He just tosses it over like a
probably didn't
empty
even-
soda can.
Yeah, you know how many people read that and probably didn't even like
Didn't notice.
key in on that? No, seriously. Look at it.
It's
Like
it's,
the prob-
it's so just
It's so nonchalant. It's like the
Yeah.
small panel, you know,
Yeah.
little
he just
tiny.
threw away a piece of paper.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty much my kids with everything that they try to throw in the trash and miss.
He's like, I'm finished with my Coke.
Yeah.
Right, Kobe, off the rim.
Yeah, Kobe.
Seriously, that's what they say.
The bugs are gone. There's 2 of them down.
Yeah.
Wow. Just killed them all. Killed them both. Wow.
Boba Fett, Orkin Man.
Yeah, he doesn't care. He doesn't
he
care.
just exterminates everybody. It's amazing.
Yeah. So I wonder if something in this series, and this is something that that Matt and Sean alluded to in their preview for Quick Shot. Thank y'all again for doing that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Blue Panther Milk.
Yes.
Oh, company.
Something this could lead to something with their interactions with this story could lead to why Boba just doesn't listen to a word Bib says, shoots him dead in the chest at the end of
Ooh, that's a great idea. Like we'll
Mando. Yeah.
see maybe why he hates him.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
So I
wonder
mean,
if we'll see the
you can
betrayal.
tell he doesn't like him too much right here.
Right, but I
right.
mean, like Boba usually has to, like, I mean, he doesn't just kill indiscriminately. I mean, like,
Really? It's
never mind.
that's
Yeah, but
right
they're
there.
in his way. They're in his way.
that's
He's like, I mean, he will kill to get what he needs, but I mean, like, I feel like he just won't just shoot him unless he
it's
just,
happening right there.
yeah.
Hey, he's not going to kill anybody indiscriminately, unless he's
Like,
awake.
Morian guard.
He's awake. When he's awake, he might do that. But I mean, come on, give him a break, guys.
Oh boy, I feel foolish.
Give me an example of him killing somebody indiscriminately in his sleep. I want to see it.
Yeah.
Show me the
Present-
citation.
present to me
Give me
it's
the
gonna be
DVD.
Guys,
right now.
they're Gamorrean guards.
That's wow.
Wow. You know, there are some Gamorrean stands out there that are going to be really pissed to hear that.
Yeah.
Just minimize their lives.
Boba did. Boba just did.
Yeah,
With a gun.
Oh my god, he made bacon out of him. Green bacon.
Oh!
Graken.
That sounds like some Dr. Seuss shit.
So yeah, this is where Boba finds out. Yeah, well, he found out where that the bounty is on him and not for Solo, and that's why he went to Tatooine.
God damn, what an ugly man, right? Sorry.
I know. I just feel like the men in the Twi'lek Society have really gotten a raw deal.
Wow, you were just singling out all kinds of different races right now, Dan.
No, I just feel like the men, like they have these two giant like lobes here. Just I'm not really attracted to them. Not attracted to them.
Wow.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize I was stepping into a eugenics class.
I mean, hey, look, I'm just not attracted.
You're just not attracted to Twi'lek men. We understand.
There could be some.
Okay, Sun Yin Khan.
My God, everyone's hurting on me right now. You said that he was ugly. I was just riffing with you, and now I'm the bad guy.
Person.
Yeah, I mean, he is kind of ugly.
So, if you read the Darth Vader comic that leads into old Rise, I keep wanting to say Rise of Skywalker, to the War of the Bounty Hunters. This hut right here, Boku,
he is so jacked.
He's jacked, and he's working with Darth Vader.
When I saw Boku in the other comic, I was just like, this dude is on a chair, but look at that, like 10-pack. Look at that.
Yeah, he's not playing around.
He is ripped.
He's got Space P90X or something.
Yeah, he's always preaching to Jabba about, you should get in the CrossFit, man.
Oh, look, there's Salacious.
Crumb. So that's what they were talking about in the okay.
Oh yeah, Claire.
Yeah. So Jabba and them are about to head to this Crimson Dawn meetup. See, right then I was like, it's Qi'ra. I was like, it's come on.
And the way that they didn't show her face, like,
right. I was like,
I like that kind of like just a little bit of shade, like a light, like a sliver of light.
Yeah.
I like how all of the huts are like
different looking.
The god of like wine or whatever his name is, Dices. What's his name?
Bacchus.
I forget, but he's like the god that's always eating the grapes and being fed and stuff like that.
Oh, I don't think he's.
You know, like
he's dead. I think that one is dead.
What? No, they all just seem like that. All the huts are always just laying, like, someone's always feeding them. They're just like that one Greek god that's that's always eating the grapes and stuff.
Yeah,
that's what they remind me of.
Bacchus was the Roman god of agriculture, wine, and fertility, equivalent to the Greek god Dionysus.
Yeah, there it is, Dionysus.
So we were both right.
Yeah.
High five.
High five.
Oh my God.
I'll get out of the way.
Sandwich and Chris.
There we go.
Oops.
Ow!
So, like, they're going to this big meetup where the Crimson Dawn is going to. I don't even think they said that they have Solo, but they're going to sell something and whatnot. So, I guess her thing. Oh, and they were saying, I'm sorry, they were saying, like, we haven't heard from them in the longest time. Like, where have they been? And is Maul still in charge? And if he's not in charge, who killed him off? Because that person's going to be even more dangerous. Which is kind of funny. It turns out that is Qi'ra.
I wonder how just leaving.
But yeah, like when they showed like little slivers of her and whatnot, like in the beginning, I was like, that's probably. But one of the first shots from the first shot from the comic is her hand, and if you remember, she was on Dryden Voss's ship. She was one who, like, I guess, greeted Han, and she greeted Han and Beckett.
Oh yeah.
So it was just all coming together. I love it. I love what they're doing. Now they're bringing everyone into it. Sana and Afra, Valance, Dengar, and boom.
Damn.
I was so happy.
This is turning out to be a friggin' awesome comic book. I love that there's all these huts involved. I love just like, what would you call a bunch of huts together? It's like a gaggle of geese.
A bunch of huts.
Can we come up with something cool though?
Bunch of huts.
Bunch of huts. Hut bunch.
I love it. Hut bunch.
I don't know. I just think we could come up with something funny.
We could.
For a bunch of huts together. Anybody out there?
God, this is really bothering me. We
Yeah, I
really should
know
be
you-
able to come up with something better.
Yeah.
Hut
Yeah.
punch.
Yeah.
Hut.
A hunch.
It was right there in front of us all the time. We
Get
just
out.
didn't see it.
Get out.
I gotta go. I'll see you guys later.
Everybody. Oh my God, no.
Someone will in the comments section come up with something very clever, I'm sure.
Yeah.
No, we just had it. Hunch. There it
Hunch.
is.
That's it.
Can you beat Hunch?
Can you beat
Like,
Hunch?
subscribe, comment, follow, listen.
That's all you got to do.
That's all you got to do.
Hashtag.
Yeah, and
Hashtag
hashtag what you came up
Better than Hunch.
with. Better than
Hashtag better than Hunch.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
I better not see that trending tomorrow or whenever this airs in the future time.
Well, this
man.
was a great episode. We had a great comic book to talk about. Jackson, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I hope I didn't punch it too hard in the beginning. You know, it's,
No.
it's been a while.
The Patrick Stewart punch was necessary
Yes.
after a lot of
It's
telekinetic energy.
the cocoon.
Would you like?
And thank you guys for having me. And this, yeah, I'm very excited to do more of these. And if y'all want to have me on.
Well,
love
yeah, I mean, we're
comics.
gonna need. I know you're a big fan of the IDW stuff, so we're definitely gonna need someone to help us break them down a little bit more.
Sure.
I
I'm
read
here.
them, but yeah,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Jackson's taking over doing all the IDW
that's right.
titles. So
So
when it comes time for the spoiler range, you got to come back on so we can all talk about it.
You got it. I'll be here for you right here.
Do you want to let everybody know where they can find you and what other projects you have going on?
Well, that's a great question, Dan. Yes, I do. So let's see. Friday, Force Connect on the Beyond the Blast Doors network. We'll be on tomorrow at 9:00 Eastern Standard Time. We have two special. Raven and I are going to be joined by two very special guest co-hosts. Maria from the Knights of Ren with a W, and some other jackass. And then I'm sorry, no, the wonderful BROAXIUM co-founder and co-president Dan Miller. You may know him from such projects as this show.
Vice.
Yeah. And then let's see. So we'll be back on with the boys, Andy and Josh from Holo Chronicles. I'll be doing. So this week I'm going to be doing. Let's see. I did the Shaken poster for my first segment, which is the first Star Wars poster that they handed out a year before the movie came out to kind of pump the crowds at Comic-Con. Second segment was on issue number 1 of Star Wars and the different variants and prints and the current values and whatnot. The next issue,
I have the director's cut.
It's not
What?
worth anything. You're screwed.
oh sure, and then the next segment's gonna. I have decided to do the next segment on the JTC variants. So, so that might be something you might be interested
You
in.
might want
Chris.
that if you want me on for that one, so I can gush over them. I'm not a huge fan of those covers.
Yeah. Well, so the boy, the it's supposed to be Jackson 5, 5 minutes, but one of the guys in the comments, Matthew, always says, "Oh, here
Smallest
comes the
signature
Jackson,
ever.
the Jackson 15." Yeah,
Hey
so
man, you got to talk about something. You got to talk about something.
there's a lot to talk about. So
Yeah.
those two things going on, and then Shootin The PooDoo on Sunday night with a couple of guys I know, a few people.
Nice.
Raven,
Bro
some Mike
action.
Brokers, and Tommy.
Busy man.
Yeah.
Yeah. You are Jackson. You may get this one. You are the Busta Rhymes of the Star Wars community until he got his first album. you're like everyone's channel.
Right. Yeah, De La Soul. Yeah, I'll hang out with you. What do you want to do? Jungle Brothers? Sure, I'll be there. Tribe Called Quest? when can we record?
I'm there.
And then he makes it his own album and is like, I don't want to talk to anybody anymore. No, that's not gonna happen.
We're never gonna see him again.
He's like, I got my own crew. I got my own Boy Scout. My own.
I'm sorry. Can you guys hold on a second? What did he? Rah like a dungeon dragon? Sure. I gotta go. I'm sorry.
Yes.
And we're really all showing our age, by the way. There's a bunch of 20-year-olds that are like,
who's Buster? What?
What is he talking about? Sorry.
Is that bodybuilder on Instagram? So you've seen him. He's huge.
Is he?
Oh my God, he's huge. He's massive.
So he's like the hip hop Joe Piscopo. Like he doesn't rap anymore.
No, he still goes. He just put out an album like
does he
year.
go to the gym with Carrot Top?
No.
Christopher.
Yeah, man.
And where can the people find you?
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, all under my name, Chris Ryans. It's my name, and also under BROAXIUM on all three, and on YouTube as well.
Awesome. You can find me, Stay on Target 42. I am also the admin of the Carrot Top Facebook group, and you can also find me on BROAXIUM, and yeah, that's about it. Thank you all for joining us for another spoiler run episode
in under 14 parsecs.